Hello, and welcome to the Gulf Coast Real Estate Insider Podcast. I'm Brett Ellis with the Ellis Team at Keller Williams, and I was supposed to be joined by my mother, Sandy Ellis, but she got called out on an appointment. So imagine that, going out doing business when we have a scheduled podcast to do. But you know what? It is season here in Southwest Florida, and we've been busy. The Ellis Team has been cranking out some business, so that's a good thing. Can't blame her for that, right? So I got a list of things I was going to talk to you guys about, give you an update on. As to what's going on. Some of it is going to be Southwest Florida related. Some of it's going to be national related. And then some will kind of cross over. So the first thing I think I'll talk about is, boy, we've been hard at work, not only doing some business, but we've created some new pages on our website. Check out topagent.com. One of our new pages is Pelican Reserve. It's a premier 55 plus community. And a lot of people coming here are looking for a 55 plus community. So it's a great new page. The other one we're working on right now is Brightwater. So that it's got a beautiful lagoon, pool, and all kind of cool stuff. So look for that soon. We should have that up this weekend. And then we've got several other pages you might want to check out. But the thing we've also been hard at work on is at Top Agent. Go and check out our current market index and our Ellis Team market spread index. Now, we've always kind of kept those proprietary, meaning we haven't shared them with the public just on, some podcasts like this or an occasional market update video, but we haven't really published it. What we decided to do is we're going to publish that every week. And the reason is it helps sellers make better decisions. It actually helps buyers make better decisions too. But sellers can make excellent decisions about how aggressive do I need to be in this market? What is the market likely to do? These two indexes help us accurately predict the forward direction of the market. It's the only indexes out there anywhere in the country that I know that can do this. The current market index was designed to do this, and we did this 26 years ago. I took some of the knowledge I learned with my finance degree coming out of college and came up with this formula, and it helped predict in 2005 the downturn of that market. And of course, we all know what happened. It statistically bottomed out in 2009. There's a little story about that, and it shows the graph back at that time that we used. I remember now, we started this in 2021, so that was like 25 years ago. But it predicted that. Then it predicted the run-up going into the COVID years and whatnot, and then it predicted the downturn following those years. So it's an index you might want to pay attention to. You never want to get behind the curve when it comes to marketing and pricing a home. Buyers, you might want to pay attention to it too, because you'll kind of know where the market's going, and it may help you with negotiating. So we're excited about those two indexes that we've released publicly for the first time. The other thing is, we talk about Zillow a little bit. Zillow is built up into all these lawsuits. Even they've added racketeering, I guess, to this thing. That sounds serious to me. The crux of the deal, I've been watching these attorneys come up on my Facebook feed, and what they've been saying is that Zillow participated in a corrupt kind of scheme where agents were forced to send clients to Zillow Mortgage for maybe higher rates, not as competitive, and if they didn't do that, they were going to cut back on the leads they got. It's called their Zillow Flex program. Now, I've talked to agents here locally, and they have kind of confirmed that that's the way they've been coached. If they don't do it, they're at risk of losing their leads. So that lawsuit might have some merit to it. We'll see what plays out, because I'm sure they've got some paperwork, some documentation, some videos, and whatnot. And I don't know the legalities of all that stuff, but it just seems to me like Zillow could be in a bit of trouble there, and maybe even the agents that partnered with Zillow and were joined that Flex program. We never did that. We didn't want to do that. Which leads me to another thing. Zillow kind of becomes a source or authority for real estate news, data, and information. But we don't like to rely on that or use that, because if I don't trust them on other things, then I don't know to trust them on the data and the other things that some of these sources are relying on. AI, for instance, I think they trust Zillow and Realtor.com and some of those things to a point, but they just as soon replace them if they could, if there's another way to do that. Something tells me there's something coming down the pike that's going to help them replace those third-party trusts. So be on the lookout for that. I'll talk more about that somewhat down the road. And the Ellis team is already taking steps to replace that third-party trust a different way. So we'll work on that. Let's talk about the local market. Pending sales are up. They're up about 3.3% over last year and over 5.4%, I think, over January. Now, the January thing, that's normal. February and March are going to be busier than January. The thing that interests me is we're up 3.3% over last year. And active inventory is down. So you might say, well, you guys have been talking about that. Active inventory might be down simply because sellers are taking their homes off the market. They don't like today's prices. Well, there's a little bit of truth to that, but I don't think that's all it. I think sellers have adapted to the market and gotten their home sold. And there are some sellers that are maybe taking their home off the market, but we've started to see prices stabilize, and some of these reports I'm getting in a couple neighborhoods, they've even started going up a little bit. I think it's too soon to say prices are going up just because we see some spotted instances of that. But all the while, some of these neighborhoods where I've seen that used to have big inventory numbers, and now they're less than the Lee County average. So Cape Coral, for instance, the month supply of inventory is less than the Lee County average. We've got a lot of that data up on topagent.com, and we're going to be updating that weekly and monthly as well. So check out topagent.com and click on Fort Myers Hub, and you'll kind of get some of that. So we are seeing prices stabilizing. That's a good thing. The last thing I'll talk about is star power. Now, if you're a real estate agent and you want to learn how to be the economist, the economist of choice in your market, obviously I feel like the Ellis team is the economist of choice for Southwest Florida and for Fort Myers market. But if you want to learn to do it in your market, you should attend some of these star power conferences. There's one next week in St. Petersburg. I think it's on February 12th. Reach out to us or go to starpower.com, and you can click on that and you can see how you can get the latest and greatest marketing, AI, social media, all these ideas from top agents throughout the country. If you're not familiar with Star Power, it was founded by Howard Brinton, and all he did was go out and interview the top real estate agents across the country. And we're one of his stars, along with many others, and we come together and we share the best ideas. So we get some of our best ideas from the other stars, and they get great ideas from us. And we collaborate and we share. Well, we're coming together on February 12th up in St. Pete to teach newer agents or even experienced agents, but maybe they're newer to Star Power, about how to succeed and help your clients get better. We're all about helping our clients make better decisions, and we're all about training other agents to help their clients make better decisions, because together we all win. When the clients are better educated, they make better decisions. When they make better decisions, they have better outcomes for their family. And that's what this whole thing is all about. So it's not about, hey, Ellis team, get as much business as you can and I'll be damned with everybody else. No, we're for upgrading the industry so that everyone wins, including the consumer. So that's our update for today. It is February 6th today, and we look forward to seeing you next week with another episode of the Gulf Coast Real Estate Insider Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Keller Williams is a family affair. Always call the Ellis Team.